This brief video explains to members of the General Practice at Scale Learning Network how to edit an organisational profile. During the registration process, members are invited to indicate whether they are the authorised lead for an organisation and therefore responsible for keeping the information about their organisation on the Learning Network up to date. On the registration form, when a member indicates that yes, they are the authorised lead, in addition to being given a member profile, they are also given an organisation profile, and they, as the author, are responsible for editing information about that organisation. At the top, in the black menu at the top of every page, if you are an authorised lead, you will have a link to My Organisation, and under My Organisation, Edit My Organisation. Clicking this will take you to the Organisation Profile Editing screen. This contains a number of editing modules. There's the main description module, which is split into a visual and text tab, enabling you to see a visual representation of the description, which, for example, if you have emboldened text or you have some formatting such as bullets, that type of thing, the visual tab will show you as it should appear visually on the page. However, the text tab will include HTML code instead of showing you the visual elements themselves. So you'll see HTML tags such as the ULs and LIs for bulleted lists. There is also the excerpt module, which shows you a 1 or 2 line summary about the organisation. Over here in the middle column here, we have further details about the organisation, such as contact information. Most of the editing modules on the screen can be collapsed or expanded by clicking on the header element. So here I'm clicking on the contact details header element to expand and collapse it. So underneath the contact details, we've got the About Your Organisation Part 1. We're capturing different information about different organisation types. So all organisations complete one, but having selected a different organisation type, what you'll see over here on the right hand side, from 2A, working at scale, to 2B, considering working at scale, to perhaps 2C, other types of organisation. And the reason for that is we're asking different questions of different organisation types. So if you are considering general practice, considering working at scale, we're going to be asking you different types of questions to those that we would ask an organisation which is already working at scale. Moving down, part 1, we can see questions around your at-scale type, your location, patient population size, GP practices, learning interests, etc. And over here in the final column, we've got information about working at scale. So what sort of legal status have you got? How long have you been working together? What was your motivation for collaboration? What areas of work have you collaborated on? Well, if you're considering a work at scale, let us know when you anticipate starting and whether your practice recognises the benefits of working at scale. If you're a different type of organisation, perhaps explain how you have encouraged collaboration, various challenges, support. And back on the description, as you can see, this gives you scope to write a fair amount about your organisation, which you can share with other members of the Learning Network. It's helpful for other members if you can describe what it is that you're doing currently, how you might be working at scale, or how you're thinking about working at scale. This will enable other members to connect with you, whether it's to share learning that they have that might benefit your organisation, or perhaps it's to contact you to ask you whether you'd be willing to share your expertise having worked at scale. By default, your organisational profile is not public and not visible to other members of the Learning Network. We encourage you to complete information about your organisation and publish the organisation profile as soon as you can. This will enable other members to find out about your organisation. Simply click the Publish button shown here on the right hand side. Once you've published your organisation, you can view it on the Learning Network. This screen shows the information that we edited previously about the Haxby Group. We can see the title, the description, all of the contact details, and then in the right hand side, in the blue shaded box, we can see details about this primary care organisation working at scale. What this does is enable other users to come along and view information about the Haxby Group and potentially click on something like patient population size to view other organisations on the learning network who share a similar patient population size. So here we can see there are 6 organisations with the same patient population size of 50 to 100,000 on the learning network. Clicking on the number of GP practices that appear within the footprint of the Haxby Group, 6 to 10, will show the other organisations on the learning network that also have a similar number of GP practices in their footprint. If we go to the organisations archive page on the learning network, we can see that there are 110 organisations have published profiles about themselves. And we can use the search form to search for organisations using the organisational characteristics that appear on the organisation profiles to begin to search for and locate different organisation types. So as we saw before, we could look for patient population size or number of GP practices supported, particular locations, learning interests or areas of expertise, perhaps organisation types, whether they are research ready accredited, the types of collaboration or the legal status of organisations. So for example, if I wanted to find private limited companies, that there are 32 organisations on the network that have a legal status of private limited company. So perhaps I'm considering collaborating with other organisations around a particular area. So it could be I'm looking to collectively invest in IT. I could use this search form to search for organisations that have said they have done this. I can then find the details of the organisations, and maybe I can locate an organisation that's not far away from me, find the details of the organisation working at scale, read about what they've done, look at their contact details and connect with them. In this way, you can see how useful it is to provide as full a picture as possible about what your organisation is doing, whether it's considering working at scale or it is already working at scale, because it can help other people find information that will be useful to them. Equally, you will be able to access details of other organisations that you can connect with so that you can benefit from the experience that they have gained.